Thank you. Cheers, lad. Thank you. All right, so thank you for joining. Like I said, I'm not a presenter, and usually the wife, we do this together. She's the very formal speaker and can do this stuff, so I'm going to wing it in true fashion. So yeah, my name's Doc, founder of UKSD, and we're going to just I want to share the philosophy. I'd love this to turn into a conversation. I know, just full disclosure, me and Nora go way back. She works for Soccer Without Borders. We're kind of in the same sport for development world, which is something that we believe is the future of the sport. We need to start focusing more on. And we're just going to share kind of our philosophy. I know Nora has kind of background in this as well. So the way that my brain works, just to be upfront, we're going to go start here, we'll be over here, and then like that. So it's yeah. So just as a forewarning, but when I get the look, I know to change. So I just wanted to again share the story about me and how UKSD began. I grew up in Middlesbrough in the northeast of England, so anyone else who's from Blighty will understand how that is the most luxurious part of the country. Not really. So sport growing up was massive for me. Without I boxed and I played soccer, and without that I wouldn't be stood here today. I suffered homelessness. I dropped out of high school myself at 14. I was homeless. I was in juvie. I was not your average student. I was a bit of a bad lad. I got guided, let's say, to the military at 16-year-old. Served 3 tours in operational areas, and then came out when I was 21. Wasn't getting up to much, and then kind of ended up, I was started getting into sports development work, and then moved to the US, where I've had a weird kind of trajectory. Moved here for soccer, got out of soccer, ended up being which is ironic now. I dropped out of school at 14. I'm now the person who's dropout prevention for a full district. So don't ask me how I got there, that's a different story. But what we were doing with UKSD in our community, so for those that don't know, everyone thinks Cape Cod is this, it's a nice area, it's beautiful. Barnstable is its own different beast, right? We're, in our high school right now, we're 60% non-white to white, and that was a massive flip from 80-20 over the course of 6-7 years. It's absolutely brilliant in our building. It's just there's a lot of challenges. So what we were doing out in the community, we were attracting a lot of our Brazilian community, our Spanish-speaking community through soccer. The district kind of realized that, and they tied it in and said we were able to kind of engage students from newcomer populations. They brought us into the school system. We now use sports as a platform to keep kids in school. And connect the community, not just sports, because you have to do the education piece as well, which that's all right. But kind of got a long-ranging background in soccer specifically and sport, with a focus on sports science, but really coaching pedagogy. What is coaching? Why do we coach the way that we do? And is coaching in our regular environment actually coaching? So yeah, there's a lot of ways how we kind of connected with humans and building relationships through the practices that we do on the field. So UKSD, I planned it. Oh, no, there's a thing playing. It's the next slide. But I like a bit of background music, so this is what we do, all right? So we just wing it. Sorry, man. So yeah, we're good. So yeah, so UKSD, with my own background being at risk, got dragged up, not brought up type of thing, but sports to me was huge. I boxed in the army, I boxed for the army team, I played soccer in the army, and it was the experience I had as a youth kind of set me on a trajectory for the rest of my life. And then the ultimate goal or the vision is, we want to, with my own experiences, sports has connected me to so many different demographics around the world, places. I'll go to the Middle East, I don't speak Arabic, and we'll connect with them. We go to different regions across the world. And so the ultimate vision is to connect young people from across the world to create projects, using sport and movement and promoting physical activity, because believe it or not, we're at the lowest participation rate ever in the world right now of physical activity. That's a whole other world of problems that's going to lead to. This is where the music comes in. So we just had this fancy video made. I think, yeah. So this is now we can crank it up. So this is kind of the philosophy that we operate within. So we're done. So that's pretty much it. So again, the idea or the vision is like I've coached club, I've coached college, I've coached high school. My entire life has been around our traditional models. There's kids playing, right? It's what about the kids that aren't playing, the 81%? What about, in my high school, I coached high school soccer at Barnstable for 12 years. Our athletics program probably reaches about 400 students. We're a high school of approximately 2,000. What about the kids who aren't playing or involved? We started doing a bit of digging, especially for our newcomer families or like our marginalized communities. There's a lot of barriers, right? So we can't do anything after school with a lot of kids because they have to go and look after siblings, they have to go and work. There's no opportunities, there's no facilities. So what we tried to create was a model where we can just provide this safe environment for kids to come together, but not just the marginalized community, everybody, right? So how do we build, that's how we build community, we do it together. So far we've had, and this will kind of make more sense back end, so they're kind of like, over the course of 12 years, math isn't my strong point, I told you I dropped out. So basically that's the impact that we've had. What makes our program unique, as adults, the adults are involved, we don't touch it. It's all kids, we facilitate. We're not coaching, we're not telling them what to do. We come up with ideas and we just guide them towards the process. And it's been really impactful. So last year we worked with, I'm gonna butcher this. This is why the wife should be here, but I think it was like over 150 coaches worldwide, or facilitators and youth leaders, and we impacted over 33,000 young people, but it was young people impacting young people and families in their own communities. So we're going to talk a little bit about the golden egg, like kind of, so I'm sure you've seen this young lady recently, Ali, just got first round pick drafted. I had the fortunate pleasure of coaching Ali for several years at South Shore Select. I did a lot of private training with her. She is the 1%. That's what everyone aspires to. The thing that makes Ali really unique is she is so humble and she understands, she kind of sees what we're doing. I did call her and tell her I was doing this and I was going to embarrass her, so my Instagram feed is completely Ali right now. So she's down in Mexico right now. She might have just got back today. She's a massive part of what we do. She's actually one of our board members and one of our ambassadors. So we're going to talk a little bit about the ambassador program. The numbers are nice. We've impacted 80,000 people in a positive manner, we hope. This is our real measure of impact, is our ambassador program. I think, I'm going to get this wrong, I think 5 or 6 of the young people who were on our board are former participants. The girl who I'll introduce you to now, who we were talking to earlier, she was the first participant in our program. We're hoping to make a CEO next year. So she's now 25. She says she's really old, but I'm telling her, you know. So, but Ali's, I'm going to talk you through Ali's project and kind of the philosophy that we use. But it's not just, this is what I'm saying, we have to collaborate. Ali's been a massive part. She's actually connected right now with a young lady out in Kenya, in Kibera, in the slums. And I'm going to talk a little about the initiative that they're going to create. but it's about how do we bring everybody together, because even our top, this is this is as good as it can get for Massachusetts Youth Soccer, right? And she's working with young people who are newcomers to our area. So this is for everybody, our program. Before we do that, because I hate talking at people, so I like games and I like just getting interactive. What I would like you to do is take 30 seconds right now, and I need you to identify as a soccer team. If you could be one soccer team, which would it be? Oh, no. You individually. It's like one. Oh, it's obviously Millwall, so it's like whatever. So it's but if your soccer team, it can be national, it can be your town team, it can be whatever you want. What is it? Have you got it in your head? What I would like you to do between yourselves is I would like you to get together, and I would like you to break yourselves up by regions. So if it's a South American club, go to South America or the Americas. If it's a European club, and I want you to break yourself up by geographical region. So you're going to have to talk, because that's what we like. Because we're here to build relationships, man. It's all good. West Coast, yeah. Anybody? Have we got? So please get up. We're gonna, because we're gonna figure it out. We got some Europeans. You're alone? Oh, that's all right, mate.
Are you getting to where they gotta go?
Yeah. You gotta get up. You gotta talk to one another. There. There we go. Nice. Right. And then what are our age? Local clubs? Still, yeah. All right. What region? LA. So local American East Coast. High school. All right. So we'll do the US. So do you want to go over there? We got a little group there.
I think I'm with these guys. I'm all like Cosmos.
Cosmos. What are you guys then? Europe. Oh, you're gonna have to. Yeah. So we've got South America. We've got Europe, go on Blighty, and then we've got the US. All right, so what I would like you to do is take a few seconds. There's I know we've got Revs, we've got town programs, high schools. There's a kind of vast array of people who you work with in your communities. What I would like you to do now is, as an adult within that, I would like you to kind of discuss what social issues you think that your players suffer from the most, like what affects their lives within your region, within your area. Just have a little discussion, and then we're going to get it. We'll start winding it down when you're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all right. So social issues within those demographics. And if you don't mind, like, what are the main demographics that you work with personally? Either like ethnicity, race, gender, anything we got. And what region was it? Yeah, that's it. So it's what you guys work on the girls' side, or yeah. So what are you guys?
I answer a lot of the time. I probably one that might be different to the answer that a lot of people do. I hope you won't be offended, but Michelle works in Hopkinton, the town I work with a lot. An interesting sort of inverted challenge to what I'm sure a lot of the common answers are. It's actually quite an affluent town, but there's a lot of successful families and people there.
Yeah.
So actually a lot of the kids, one of the challenges I find is actually they don't deal with adversity, and they don't deal with, like, it's actually, it's really, they don't know what, like, Middlesbrough and where I grew up, Hastings.
Yeah.
They don't have that, so it's quite a different skill set we have to try and instill in them. Actually, a lot of life lessons need instilling.
Yeah.
Because they get the rest of it kind of for free.
Yeah, but brilliant. Yeah, I used to coach in Hingham as well, so it's I get it. So yeah, what a. I'm asking.
But the team I chose is my women's team in Brazil, and I was just talking about like just inclusion of like LGBTQ plus in spaces where there's a lot of conservative values, and so like having a safe space for women who are maybe seen as like a little bit more radical, but like can have that space together.
Uruguay, yeah.
But who's your population that you serve?
Actually, I'm from here,
Yeah.
but Uruguay's my team.
Yeah.
I like them. They are always showing up every World Cup. They're
Right.
women, they don't exist. So
Yeah.
right.
So there's definitely, you're all right. So it's so there's definitely a big part of what we do, and it's just kind of morphed this way. I think being involved in the female game is we're trying to get more female-driven projects or kind of like giving the voice there, because even though it is we work a lot in the Middle East or Uganda we just came back from, it's still like at the beginning stage and it's a lot difficult. There's a lot of issues here. Being a male coach within the female game, you kind of start noticing more. And I think that's probably the biggest issue I see right now is the lack of adversity that we give our young people. And I think it's causing mental health issues and things like this. So I think I want you to kind of hold on to that thought. And I told you I bounce around a lot, so welcome. But there's a lot of issues, and kids know it, you know, like they know what their problems are. And that's why I think collaboration, we try and bring kids. Ali she's had a bit of adversity with her knee surgery and stuff, but she understands that's how privileged she is. Like, she grew up in a handsome, nice house, great family, but she has a lot of challenges as well. That's why a newcomer might come, they're struggling for housing, they're struggling for food, they don't know how to, just basic needs. So that's why we try and collaborate everybody so that kids understand and they're very empathetic. I'm 42, I'm from Middlesbrough, like I'm from a traveller family. Empathy is not even in our dictionary. So it's like I'm from a big gypsy family and we don't even know what that word means. So our generation now is the most empathetic I know, right? They're smarter than us on that side of things. This is kind of our team, and again, bouncing around. Zaid moved here from Jamaica 4 years ago. Had a really hard time settling in. He's now in his junior year at Bridgewater State doing physical therapy. Massive part of our program. This is the girl I was telling you about, Eve in Kibera in the slums. 2.5 mile square radius, 1.5 million people. So you can probably imagine how interesting that is. Lexi, absolute firm favourite. She was diagnosed with leukemia in her senior year, fought through it, smashed it. She's going to be a doctor. Don't mind these guys, they're from England. This guy's from Dominica. But Beggs, this is the girl I was telling you about at the top. She was our first ever participant. She's probably the biggest influence on me as a person, and where we've kind of went through UKSD. She's the boss. Like, she'll tell me what to do. She was texting me earlier about, don't mess this up, Doc. So I was like, yeah. Ellie, just graduate. She's new to the team. She came through the program. Pretty difficult childhood, but now, and then that's the real boss. That's the wife up there. She's the one that should be doing this presentation. She's a teacher, and she's a massive part of what we do as well. So,
and her name's not wife.
her name is Flig. I call her, but Fliggy. So sorry, yeah, sorry. That's it. So what started out, and I'll kind of go on about our trajectory. As of last year, this was the impact that we'd had globally. We've worked with youth leaders from all of these regions. I'm not great with the maps, so I'll list them all down here either as well. So we actually have some participants from Mass Youth Soccer heading to Bosnia later this month. We hosted a group from Bosnia, ran a program. One of our biggest things that we do is we try and connect students. We either go in person, we host, we do things virtually. And again, we're facilitating these projects. So we've created a network, and I'll kind of go on about that, of really solid partners. One's in Bangladesh, one's in Dominica in the Caribbean, and then one's in Uganda. And then we have a presence in Kenya as well. So we'll kind of go on a little bit more about that. But we'll work with anybody, and you'll be surprised how many people are willing to work with your organizations. When we connect the kids from here to different places, and we just let it evolve, it's unbelievable. So we're going to kind of share like what we do. That's kind of my brain. So This photo, this is actually me cheating a little bit. That was the best photo I could take. We started, so the idea was, I was working Department of Youth Services Outward Bound. The funding got taken away in the crash in 2008. I was like, all right, well, I want to just create a safe space for kids to come. I had 9 kids in a parking lot for a street soccer game. I just rounded up a load of kids, said, let's go. Fast forward, that's where we started. That was in Hyannis. This is us last year in February, playing with the national volleyball team in Bangladesh. I've never even watched a volleyball game. So it's kind of, we got everywhere we need to do, but this is the beauty of sport. It can be anybody can do it. And so, yeah, that's one of our exchanges right now, one of our stronger partners. But everything in between, we tried a lot of things. Again, the reason, like, kids come to us with ideas, and everything has evolved. So we try and give them the autonomy and the ownership of the program. These are the 3 programs that we kind of run. Kids Play for Free project, which I'm going to explain more. Our social impact exchanges, where we do them virtually or in person. It can be one way, 2 way. We try and make them free of charge, and we open them to everybody. The students who attend have to go. They do an ambassador training, and we try and get them involved in projects prior to the exchanges. United Sports Network, we've got like really strong partners throughout the world. We're open to adding more, we're just not just yet, because we're really trying to solidify what we're doing on the ground, and we'll have some joint projects. I'm a sports science guy, so it's like there is a kind of a method to the madness. So when we think about kids dropping out, I think kids dropping out of school, I think kids are dropping out of sport. There's less kids right now in the US playing team sports than ever before, right? That's a fact. So there's a lot of barriers, obviously. We discussed them earlier. One of the things, and I've been on the club scene, I've been on ODP, I've done traditional coaching. I don't know if you're familiar with this model, but I would like, SDT is kind of like, it's a motivational model. If a player or especially a young person doesn't have 2 out of the 3, they're going to drop out, or they've got a higher risk of dropout. So with autonomy, we let the kids, you're in charge. We're here to facilitate. You tell us what you want to do. Competence, we let them create their own level of competence. We don't coach, we facilitate. We can, if there's an activity, I don't care what technique you use, but if the ball gets from A to B, or if you're having a good time, that's competency. Relatedness is kind of the next slide. So we, like you guys, will talk about things that you think affect your communities. We use the UN Sustainable Goals to let students kind of, well, if I've got females not getting opportunities, that's reduced inequalities. We go into good health and well-being, because so we let them align them to the goals, and then we get them to design their own projects around the goals. So this is the Kids Play for Free project. This is our main focus. So what we started doing, we were an after-school program, we were free of charge programs. We've evolved in redesigning physical education in the US. This is our ultimate goal. This is where we're heading. So what we do with the Kids Play for Free project is broken into 3 stages. Educate, sport for goals. If I throw a ball out on a field, and especially in our community, kids are going to go and play. We try and encourage everybody to play. What we then is, and it's nothing new, purposeful play. We educate people through an activity about a UN goal or a topic. So for example, I was going to get people to get up, but I don't think it's going to be the right setting. We could manipulate a game. It could be a regular soccer game. It's a lot more fun when we do it in person. But one of my favorite games, I'm going to say bullying. Right? That's not my favorite thing to do, but bullying, this game is great. So I'll be the bully. I'll have a soccer ball or a dodgeball, and I'll chase the kids around, and I'll throw a ball at them, hip or below. I won't hit them in the head, because that technically would be bullying. But we'll run around, and I'm the bully, and I'm bullying you. We then get young people to act as allies. If an ally jumps in front of the ball, the bully has to do 10 push-ups. And then we kind of talk about allyship, standby, bystander training. We kind of like evolve from there. So that's kind of the games that we'll do, and we just do a warm-up game. Our leadership, our movement for mentors is where we really start going on about pedagogy and teaching style. So we'll do autocratic, again, all through activities and games. We then get the young people who are going through that phase to lead the activities. So they're experiencing leadership firsthand. The create, the play for create part of our model, the play for projects, is then what we do is we'll design these games, and then we get young people to design activities about issues that affect their lives. So then they'll go out, they'll do that, and then, so our entire curriculum is student designed. And then we get them to go back and do this. And then what we do is, from an evolution of that, that's kind of the beginning stage of it. They'll design the activities. They then create projects that use movement to create civic action. Because I don't know if you know, in Massachusetts, it's actually a Department of Education law that students can't graduate without 8th or 11th grade civics. That got passed 2 years ago. So hopefully most schools are going to catch up. But physical education is also mandated in Massachusetts. Not every school does it. So there's some battle. So we try, and this is why we're trying to fit into schools, because it's the easiest place for us to have students collaborate. So I'm going to actually talk to you about this project. But before we do that, what I would like you to do is I'd like you to get with a different partner, or let's have the countries cross, I guess. And I want you to talk about this. I want you to come with one kind of defined social issue, like so within that region. So let's just kind of, because then I'm going to have you design an activity or that we could take back to your communities. So if we just split up again and move, because I understand it's warm, we're sitting down, I hate it. So just kind of find a new group to go with, and I would just like you to talk about just one social issue, and we can go back to the, oh, that's not the button.
Nice to meet you.
And I want you to tie it into one of the UN Sustainable Goals. Just pick something like with the young people you work with specifically, and how would you tie that into an yeah. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Yeah, sorry. So basically, between the kids that you actually work with, what is an issue? So say if it was female participation, how would we, what box would that fall under? Or it might fall under, but actually coming up with something that you saw big in our community right now is mental health, right? So it's like, what would we, because then I'm going to have you design something that you might be able to take back to your community. Yeah, so 30 seconds, and then we want to, what's one thing that we can focus on in our own communities? All right, so 10 seconds. Let's pick a box. So, yeah, I know. Yeah. So this is the beauty of they all live together, but they're easy to separate. So if you were going to go and sell something to your kids and be like, like I understand that this is something you're going through, and I'm going to put it in. What would be the easiest for your kids to accept and for you to explain? To use that box. So do we? Gender equality, yeah.
Even 17, it's like how can a med partner with
Sorry.
Sorry. We're still struggling to choose. Sorry.
I think there's not many women coaches in soccer, especially like town level.
Yeah.
I do coach with Melissa is our coach. I mean, I did see some of them, but it's not equally represented.
Look at this conference.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
This is actually a pretty high rate right here.
Right.
1, 2, 3 women.
Yeah.
That's very high.
Thank you for coming. Yeah. So and yeah.
The sessions I was in this morning, it's got to be at least maybe
Yeah.
90-10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mentioned when you brought this up, I think that's a spot on one because I've been coaching for many years. It's something I've seen across the board. It's like I've been to tournaments where I'm coaching girls and I go through an entire 3-day period and I don't see a
Yeah.
woman
It's
coaching, which is just like, why?
Yeah.
And years ago I heard something and like, oh man, that's so spot on. And it's just I think in our makeup, that's not an excuse, but it's just something that needs to perhaps change in women. But men sign up to do jobs that we are not qualified for.
I played street
I play
soccer.
street soccer. Oh yeah, I definitely coach my high school team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's
Brilliant. It's brilliant.
Women
I
might
am.
be
Yeah.
overqualified and they still
Yeah.
don't apply for it,
100%. Yeah.
right? It's like, well, I could coach the team, but I only have the D license. Now I need another license before I can coach. Like men, like I don't need a license. I'll coach.
And that brilliant for you guys for recognizing that. So I have a good friend, and she's actually one of our kind of ambassadors, Katie Shepfer. She's the U17 Women's National Shep. So she's down at the World Cup qualifiers right now. When that job came up, I had to literally force her to do it because her whole thing, I'm not qualified for this. I'm like, Shep, you played professionally. You played for the Breakers. I said, you're one of the best coaches I've ever seen. You're an A licensed coach. And she's like, I don't think I'm qualified. I'm like, Shep. So we
Obviously going to get that job.
yeah, and she didn't, but she was already involved in the program. And I'm like, but that, I mean, yeah, and that's it. But thank you for recognizing it. That's great.
That we talk about sports and soccer, but that really translates across life. In all areas.
100%, yeah.
Where women just don't feel
Yeah.
qualified to do stuff that the men are like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. It's brilliant, yeah.
And it's a real, so that's the problem. How do we fix it? How do we?
Get more men recognizing it first.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And so I'll share something that we're in the process of putting together that might actually be a good fit for your community. And then I'll just...
I coach and I say I'm out of here. I tell my wife go build the kids.
Yeah.
You know more than me like basketball. She knows.
Right.
I just volunteer. So
Yeah, it's such a mindset thing, yeah. It's crazy. I would just thank you. And then what was the box? What do you want? Pick one. You can be the same one. You just got to... Love it. It's a different type of, yeah.
It's the opposite. It's like the other end of the spectrum, but it doesn't make it any easier on the mental health. It's with the social media and
It's,
the cars
yeah.
are nicer than mine.
Yeah. It's insane, yeah. And that's such a, we think at risk, and we think kids who don't have the bare minimum. In the mental health side of circumstances, I think they're the most at risk, like that demographic. So what are we doing to? Yeah, it's a great one. So and then good health and well-being and gender equity. Love it, brilliant. What was yours? We're gonna wing it.
We had a couple, so ain't reduced inequalities, but again, like you said, targeting but mainly more at the higher end than the
Yeah.
lower end. In that we've had a big influx in like Indian community,
Right,
and
yeah.
ethnicities into town, and there's I didn't want to use the word like racism, but we've had issues where like kids are just uneducated on how to interact with each other
Yeah.
from different backgrounds. So just making it feel more like one community versus
Yeah.
some that are starting to collide a little bit.
I love it.
It's an interesting challenge, and again, it's not from a place. It's not in an underprivileged community, but it's still,
Right.
Again, for all the things Michelle said, like life lessons for kids.
Yeah.
That's really important to figure that out.
Just out of a quick show of hands, how many of the organisations that you operate in actually have that at the forefront? Like in reality, because on paper they might be, oh, we're here to build people, but to teach soft skills, to teach life skills. So I know the sport for development sector, and again, I'll put Nora on the spot. That's kind of how we operate, but we get that demographic of student that, they're the at-risk kids. How many of the organizations that operate at the higher level does have anything implemented in that, like mental health awareness or anything? Just out of show of hands, none? No, there's no, it's about the soccer, right? Yeah, it's about the soccer. Oh no, we get good people. You're getting soccer players and you want to. 100%.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
is town level good enough for my kid? Do they need to be in clubs? Do they need to be in museum out? Do they need to be in like
Yeah.
MLS Next? Do they need to be in
100%. Yeah.
scholarships before they're years old?
Yeah. And then I guess that all stakeholders have a piece of it, right? So I want you to kind of think about like where the issues or the challenges might be to change that mindset in your community. I'm going to talk about Ali's project, and I'm going to rip something down. So I appreciate he's like sticking with me because I know I waffle, and I'm going backwards. So that's like the absolute classic of my life. So basically, during COVID, things got a little bit weird with physical activity. So what we did there, she is in the middle. Ali, that's Sam. Molly, one of our kids, and then I think you're on that somewhere as well. And then, so basically, what we did is we had this concept that we've kind of been putting on hold during COVID. We learned how to kind of develop like our digital platform. So, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but COVID as an organization really. It was a good thing for us to be able to reach more people because we found a way to kind of evolve. And now we could so we did all of these projects during COVID where kids were doing it virtually, and then they were creating civic action projects that promoted health and well-being, but they were able to help other organizations that were suffering. So we did a lot with senior centers during COVID, with homeless shelters, food insecurity. So basically what we did is we got a few of our leaders together, and while this was going on, we had about another 30 projects going on. It was different kids. So what we did is we connected with a group out in India called Slum Soccer, and we developed this kind of idea that they were just going to, now they didn't speak the same language, different cultures completely, and it was like, how are we going to work together? So we basically set up a meeting, created a WhatsApp group, said, figure it out. So they figured it out, they were contacting each other, Google Translate was getting used, things were getting lost in translation, and then it was like, well, how are you going to promote physical fitness? So the girls out in India would share things of their practices because they weren't on a severe lockdown. I remember one of Ali's particular workouts that she did. I'm going to share a workout and I'm going to have everyone else do it. It was in a playground. And I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not doing that. And she's doing chin-ups, she's doing this. And I'm like, Ali, tone it down a bit. But all of the kids, they built this relationship. And I think it was over the course of, I might have this wrong, but like 4 or 5 months. And then we kind of started to evolve. Well, we thought it was going to go gender equality. And we were like, all right, well, think of an activity. These are the UN Sustainable Goals. Think of something. We thought it was going to go one way, and it was heading that way. And all of a sudden it pivoted. Access to clean water. The kids in India didn't have any access to clean water. It then brought up questions about Flint, Michigan, these types of things, how safe is our water. So they started self-discovery and doing, and again, we were just facilitating. We want to do clean water. Why? What's wrong with the clean water in the US? Just asking questions as opposed, and then they go down and do the research. They came about 6 months later with this presentation. They should be here doing this now because it was unbelievable. No guidance on that side of things. We give them access to Canva. Oh, you can use this. Oh, yeah, we don't like that. We want to use Google Sheets or whatever it was. So they designed it. They did all of the research. They did everything, and it was all self-discovery. And then the thing that we wanted them to create at the end, the product, can you create an activity that promotes physical health and well-being, and then it would have kind of an impact on the communities that you're working with? So they decided, they were pretty smart with it. They went, well, everyone's going to be moving during high school sports season. So they kind of went around, got a lot of sponsors, and I think I can't remember the exact amount, but they raised enough for 60 to 70 water filtration systems, got them shipped to India. The kids in India then went around to their communities and handed them out. So I think there was, and I'll butcher it, but say there was like 60 to 70 households now had access to clean water, just because they were saying, well, we know we're going to run during the high school season. They went out and got these sponsors, and they created an activity called Money for Miles. So they went round to anybody that got sponsored every mile. I think some kids were getting $1, some kids were getting 10 cents, and then all of the friends bought into it. They got these water bottles that I'm still seeing today. They created a company called filterfresh.co, and they sell water bottles, and all the water bottles goes towards clean water. So I think they've took a little bit of a hiatus, but I did meet with the founders of the program the other day, and they want to start it back up because they all went to school, their own lives kind of got in the way, I guess, but they want to start it back up, and then so they basically sell water bottles. They create an online store, and everything will go back to it, because now they want to buy new filters for the water filtration systems because they're starting to get old. So, and the kids are still in contact again, just like loose messages. So that was Ali's project. We have hundreds, about 120 something, and we're working on several projects right now. A couple of them being, hang on, I'm going the right way. So these are two initiatives that we're working. So I love jiu-jitsu, I love boxing. I'm actually working with adults in our community. We're doing a jiu-jitsu program for autistic children and kids with severe disabilities. So we're working with a psychologist, we're getting all of the stakeholders, all of the community. We're working with the schools. They're going to be providing jiu-jitsu for kids that would never even try it. We're doing that in Hyannis. My friend owns a series of gyms. The Girls for the Game project, I'm stepping out of this because it would be pretty ironic if I was still in it. But all of the female leaders, we've got several, so Ali's heading this up with Beggs, the girl that was one of our first participants, because we're trying to create, our goal is for the next year, is to develop between 50 and 100, we haven't decided on the number, new administrators, female coaches, female game officials, because then we believe that if we create those positions and we develop them to be aware of kind of social awareness, the female game will automatically grow. We've kind of focused on, in the past, we need it's girls only playing, but we feel as though if we get more female leaders. So a story to your point, I brought a group, and I'm not crapping on anybody. South Shore Select is a all-girls academy. I brought a group to watch a practice from Bosnia. We were hosting the group. There's probably 150 female athletes on the field. There was not one female coach. I spoke to Ali about this because she played for Select, and she went, it's not just a direct quote. And again, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. It's part of the system. It's part of what it is. She went, it's not just there, it's at college. So we didn't have, UNC, we didn't have one female coach. Like Heather O'Reilly used to come down and train. And she said, it's everywhere. And she went, this is a problem. Shep, my friend at U17, they do a bit better. They have, I think it's all of the head coaches are all female. She's actually the only one from the US, which is ironic. But she said that everything she sees in that world, that's an issue as well. So that's an initiative, and we can talk about how you can get involved in stuff. But what I would like you to do, we're actually sponsored by Degree as well, that make us happen to this, and we have some coaching education, which I believe Soccer Without Borders have been a part of developing. We've developed some training videos, so I can give you my contact info, you can get involved in that as well. And it's a great way it shows you activities that can kind of break down the barriers and get other people involved. What I would like you to do is I would like you to think and talk about, within the issue that you identified in your region, kind of mini plan an activity or an event or a game that you could take back to your kids on the ground and work to kind of inspire something in them to maybe think, we could do this. It might even just be a conversation, but it could be an activity like the bullying game. It could be Miles for Money. I can't remember what it's called, but could we do this where we're going to get sponsored and then we're going to donate this money to an organization? Anything you like, just have a quick couple of ideas. How could you take what you feel is an issue in your communities back to the people you work with, whether it's parents or whether it's kids, right? So because you guys will know, you've got the creativity, so I think we just want to bring it out. So have a little quick this is cheating. So this is. I'm gonna eavesdrop because I actually like your. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just well, go ahead. Tell them what you just said.
Oh
How
no,
to
so
solve
when I
the social inequality
yeah,
issue.
yeah. So just related to that, I coach the first grade and fourth grade soccer. My daughters are.
Right.
So on sessions, I would pick one or two kids, or say, hey, you be the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
For this session.
Yeah.
Come up with a skill set you want to teach. Be a leader, be spoken, right?
Yeah.
Just give them like that confidence level that they can.
It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
That they can take it over and use it on a long
Yeah.
term and be like open up.
Yeah.
It's okay to speak out. It's okay to be leader. It's okay
Yeah.
to be.
It's good awesome that you're able to like create an environment that encourages that, because that's pretty much what I mean. We didn't reinvent the wheel, but we just kind of have like a methodical approach to it. But like the kids are the best teachers and they're the best leaders if you give them the opportunity. And the kids that aren't generally successful, like in a traditional setting, they're the best leaders in my opinion. But like just giving people the opportunity to try it, because when you build that, like it's scary, right? Like you get in, especially as a kid, like with your peers. Like the growth from that is unbelievable.
So one of the sessions, there's this girl, third grade, not third grade, first grade.
Yeah.
She came up with one song for the whole team. So
Right,
every
yeah,
time we finish the soccer, then we will use the song for the cheer up.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun that they kind of, you let them speak, let them give their ideas.
Right.
And be, listen to it too, rather than just, all skill loads.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like 10 years down the line, that'll be the kid that's like hopefully on the field.
On the field.
Yeah, because they've given that
Raise up their hand
experience.
to say, I can do this.
Yeah. What area are you guys in again?
I'm in Medway.
Medway. Oh yeah.
I'm in Dartmouth. I live in Dartmouth, but
Oh,
in New
yeah.
Bedford area.
Yeah. Oh, so you're not like
Portuguese,
you're right.
Hispanic
Yeah.
community,
Because you guys are like Portugal from Portugal. Right? Yeah.
So
Well,
that's my area. It's
awesome.
a very diverse community.
oh, yeah. I love it down there. Yeah. Yeah, we used to do a bit of stuff in New Bedford mainly, but
Bedford's a big city, 100,000 people.
it's crazy.
And there's a lot of kids that don't do sports.
Money.
Money. I remember I used to coach a team years ago in New Bedford, and there was this one kid. She would miss practice. I'm like, hey, Alex, how come you weren't in practice last week? Coach, I wanted to go, but I didn't have anybody to take me. So physically, the kid is at home, dressed up.
Yeah.
Parents are still working, and she has nobody to bring her to practice.
Transport is a huge thing. Yeah.
So when you live in an urban setting, heavily populated, kids can actually walk out of their house, go to the playground.
And like interacting with other
Yeah.
communities, what you've done with like bringing kids to different
Yeah.
countries is obviously
Yeah.
extreme, but like talking about like come to Boston, come check out.
Well, 100%.
Go play friendlies against teams in Jamaica Plain and see each other's facilities.
Yeah. So, and then can we get schools and organisations to work together? So it's not just like to develop something. So we're going to do, yeah.
Conquer that boundary. Like a lot of clubs don't. Like my club did it.
Right.
I gotta
We're talking,
really
Yeah.
massage it in before I start.
Slow and steady, man.
This is the way it is.
And this
Yeah.
is Massachusetts, imagine like
Yeah.
Texas and Florida.
Oh yeah, I haven't got that far yet. Down like whatever. Yeah.
We're doing a racial justice program with Chicago Fire Academy, and then we're like bringing coaches from all over. So
Downtown Chicago, where
we're gonna be at the fire pitch.
So yeah, we'll wrap that up. So thank you for bearing with me, because I know that it's Nora. No. But because I know that there's other options out there, so I appreciate you sticking with it. The sport for social development or sport for development sector is nowhere near where it needs to be, right? So it's but hopefully it's going to grow. It's coming because there's such needs, and I think identifying the needs that you all have, like within your own regions, we need to create more awareness about them. Like mental health is huge, female participation in leadership roles. We're going to see what you guys come up with. What was your thing? Did you?
It's like getting out of your bubble a little bit, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Partnerships with
All right. So anybody else is gonna, because I'm gonna put them on the spot because you're about this verbatim. I want you to give me like a 30-second or a 1-minute elevator speech about a project that you can do with your communities, or at least a concept.
Sounds like you have the toughest challenge.
I think like getting, when I was a kid, we used to go to like they were called leader school. You would go from each individual YMCA you were at,
Yeah.
and you would conjugate to one place, and different ethnicities, different money, different everything.
Yeah.
As far as that, you were all integrated, and it wasn't a sport based. It wasn't. It was just leaders. We were kids. We weren't leaders yet, but we all went there. We had a good time. We didn't care about color. We didn't
Yeah.
care about money. We didn't care about anything. I think something like that could change people's perceptive. Like you go play friendlies, it's a competition.
Right,
It's
yeah.
It's if you went to friendlies and then you split your squad half and half, then you know what I mean.
It's a
not about-
collaboration.
Right,
It's
right,
about
Yeah.
you know togetherness or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, it wouldn't be that activity like the water, but it's some kind of activity that would change.
Yeah. Relationships. Yeah.
Just simple interactions that, unfortunately, my kids don't, even my children,
Yeah.
don't even know.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't mean to sound rude, but sandwich is a different beast.
Yeah.
Okay, like, do your kids come through sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm from
yeah.
Chicago.
Right. Yeah. So
I grew up with ethnicities,
extremes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
monies and different this and that, and I grew up in a totally different environment.
Yeah.
I raised them,
Yeah.
but I try to bring them back, but they don't get it. They gotta experience, they gotta live it, they gotta.
So creating opportunities for groups from different demographics to collaborate. All right, love it. We're going to focus on.
Yeah, so we generally talk about us coaches to really generate equality, teach the kids soft skills, as we said, in one of practice sessions or one of the games, ask few kids to be the leader, be
Yeah.
the coach, and be out there, develop their confidence to be, they can be the coach, they can be teaching skills, they can be, so develop this from first grade throughout, as part of our coaches,
Yeah.
we develop some of our goals into, be proactive, be communicative,
Give them that opportunity to lead at an early age, so hopefully.
yeah,
Yeah.
which I've seen, as I said, there's
Yeah.
practices where kids come up with a song for the whole team.
Right, yeah.
Or, let's do this game, let's do this skill set, we haven't tried that much. Just give them space.
Love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, and then pressure's on. What's an activity or something that you think you could take back to your community?
I think we were like, if you're building on the what creates confidence and what helps with mental skills, and that's the competency and autonomy part of it. So maybe have the kids in our town organize, pick up soccer or a soccer tournament of some kind, and they can decide what it's going to look like. Is it 3v3 or 5v5 or 7v7 or whatever it is, and figure out what they're going to do for uniforms, for officials, for trophies, for all of those things, and just kind of organize something and talk about them that's like.
Really developing again, like administrative leaders. Yeah, and then I love it. So there's 3 projects. So it's that easy because so your community knows every community is different. So we can't go into anywhere and think we've got answers, but like get your kids at the helm of everything, right? And then just try and facilitate, try and prod them, try and push them a little bit, open their minds, and then kind of like. That's how we're going to create change long term. That's how we're going to break down barriers by kind of, because they'll figure it out. They're like, oh, right, yeah, that's cool. And then kids want, I feel as though this generation is much, even very empathetic, very purpose driven. Like me, it was just like, I'm just getting out the door, I'm just going to go. But like these guys, they want a social vision. They're like, that's probably one of the benefits of social media. They can see all these things. Like we're all scared of it. I'm petrified of it, but kids, like, it's part of their lives. They get to see like things across the world that affects them, and it drives their purpose. So I think if you tap into that, then it's going to be awesome. And then, again, I appreciate you sitting here and listen to me drone on. But it's been a pleasure. Anyone wants to exchange contact info, feel free. I'd love to, again, just thought partners about how we can kind of create initiatives to get kids involved and engaged in something to create change. So, awesome. Thank you.